Yo,
Top of the morning to you.
back at it. Another day, another dollar.
Yeah. How y'all doing? Y'all already know how you doing on a scale from 1 to 10.
You want to start us off, Jara?
Oh, we go in the middle. All right.
Yeah, we don't never
No
start.
assembly line, yeah.
And record.
I'm gonna do my Keith Lee. I'm gonna be an 8.8 out of 10, bro.
8.8 out of 10.
And what's holding you back from a 10? What's that?
Oh,
point?
bro, I got a stats exam tomorrow, and that thing is looking kind of tough. So I'm just more studying tonight.
In person?
It's in person too, bro. This is the only in-person
Welcome
test
to my world.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. So that's the only thing. But if I ain't have it, I'll be a 10 out of 10. So.
Yeah, okay. Oh, man, I'll take it. Nothing to hold me back. I'd say 10 out of 10. And yeah, 10 out of 10. I just know I'm going to have a tough week. Just got some each day. But as of now, 10 out of 10. Don't got to complain the whole world.
Yeah, I'm going to say a 10 out of 10 as well.
Hey.
Plain. Free weekend, man. No 10-page paper, no exams, man. I'm cooling, bro.
Man,
Women chilling.
man. Simple support. Simple, hashtag simple man.
Bro, they always go cook me.
Put them in the comments. No, but we got a good topic for you on this today. It's a thought of how what we do now is really affecting what's going to happen for us in the future. You know what I'm saying? So the actions that we take now, the people that we hang around, what we put our focus on, and again, just where our mindset's at now can really affect what is to come. And so I was going to ask and say, what are y'all thoughts on that? And then how are you handling that now, having that thought process of what I'm doing now, the things I focus on now, the people that I'm around now are affecting what is to come in the future?
Jeez, bro, that's a really good topic, dog. I'm not gonna lie. But I heard this one quote. It said, either day one or one day, you know what I'm saying? And so I think, bro, you just gotta, we always talk about it, is just like, you gotta start somewhere, you know? And I think what I've navigated in my life, especially with the people I hang around, is like, okay, these people that I hang around now are gonna play a huge role in the character that I'm being able to be built into in the future, you know? And so I gotta make sure that I'm constantly hanging around people that's gonna edify me as the same way as I edify them, you know what I'm saying? So it's always what you say, like, who you hanging around, you know what I'm saying?
Every episode.
So, right, it's just like, man, like, the people who you hang around is just such an important piece, because these people are helping you shape your character for the future. And because we know it says in the word, it says bad company corrupts good morals. So if I'm hanging around bad company that corrupts good morals now, I'm not going to have good morals in the future.
That's solid. In regards to just preparation, I feel like everything in our life is in some way, shape, or form shaping us for the future. Whether that's in a good way or whether that's in a negative way, you know, that just leads to the fruit for it to show. But I would say, you know, I'm thinking of the lens of the best day to start was yesterday. Yeah. I think everybody, you know, if we're wanting to accomplish goals, things that we have set out for us in the future, don't wait until you get to that point to say you're comfortable or you're content or you're ready to start. Like, start now, man, because at the end of the day, where you might be by starting yesterday can be further than starting 10 weeks from now or 2 years from now when you feel like you're in a better position to do so. So I would just encourage somebody, man, like, you got something that's on your heart right now. You're like really working towards this thing, and you're hoping that this thing can blossom for you in the future. Don't postpone it because you feel like you're not ready right now, man. I got some good advice a couple weeks back, and it was like, man, you got nothing but time to fail right now, man. So fail forward. If you fail right now, it'll prevent you from failing as many times in the future, man. So the best time to start was yesterday.
Each of us are in college now, and so as I was coming to college, I was told the habits that I make now in college are going to last a lifetime, and the friends that I make in college are going to affect all my life. You know what I'm saying? And so that was a huge thing to me in processing that, and that's why I got some good friends now. You know what I'm saying? Because again, these bonds and these habits that I'm creating now are going to last the entire time. I like how you said bad company corrupts good character, because so many people are looking for good company, but they're not being good company themselves. And this comes back to this thing of who you are sets who you attract. So some people I always say, I always date toxic men. There's one common denominator. There's one common denominator.
No.
I'm gonna hit him with that Pastor Josh look.
You gotta hit it for the camera, bro.
For the camera.
Bro, be illegal.
Our pastor be wild and some content.
Bro, no, I think that is so real, man, because, you know, I feel like when we look in the mirror, sometimes it's hard to take that accountability for, one, our own actions. And when you talk about wanting good company, but you're the denominator yourself, man, it's hard to swallow that pill. I think in times in my life where I've felt prone to just being stubborn and being prideful in approach to just who I'm hanging around and things of that nature, I've always felt like I was the best one, like out of the group, like, oh man, like they struggling with this or you know, there's nothing wrong with me, when really in reality, I've probably been the most flawed individual inside the group. And so you talk about that common denominator, you know, and who you're hanging around and how that kind of shapes like what you attract. I think we got to start at the root system, man. Yeah. Why do I have toxic habits? Why am I a toxic personality? And then really, you know, get curious. Like, how did this happen? I heard something earlier this week, but I was talking to this counselor. She said, we got to peel that onion back, man. We got to get to the root, because the onion has so many layers before you get to the actual onion. So if you got a toxic, you know, personality or you have toxic behavior, get curious as to where that stemmed from. Where was that root initially formed at? Peel that onion back and get to the root.
And I think like the biggest enemy to preparation is procrastination, bro. And that's something that I struggle with big time, dog, especially like even when it comes to schoolwork. So I'm trying to get to the root of this problem and trying to break this habit right now so that it doesn't affect me in the future. But it's just like procrastination is a place of comfortability and laziness, to where we're like, all right, cool, like I can do that later. That's always the excuse, like we can do that later, like I got time. But like what you said, like the best time to start is yesterday, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, bro, like we got to make sure that we don't fall into this trap of procrastination, and which just lies to us, and then we're ended off with regrets, like, dang, I should have did it yesterday or a week ago, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Coming from a spiritual standpoint, I talk to so many people say, I'm gonna start following God, or I'm gonna start getting up into the Bible praying after college, after my kids are older, after I'm married. It's like the things that we do now prepare us for then. And so I think that so many people are trying to push those off because not a priority, you know what I'm saying? Because what people do on an everyday basis is they focus on their priorities, and some people got bad priorities. I'm not good, and that's a whole other topic. I think we did an episode on that. But I'm just amazed at the thing you said on how so many people push things off. And I'm always thinking back, as we peel back that onion, I think it is, like, why are we pushing that back? I think for so many people, including me, because we don't want to fail, you know what I'm saying? So I was talking to a friend a couple years back who was saying that he wanted to get up into songs and stuff. It's like, but he said, I'm gonna do it after college. It's like, why not try to start doing songs now, putting down lyrics? You don't gotta make a whole song or an album, but put down some lyrics, because if he waits till after college, that's 4 years that he could have spent practicing his craft, getting better at his craft.
Yeah.
Because now there's someone else who's 4 years up on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's real.
I'm thinking about a specific term that Jesus said in the Bible when he says, like, why do you boast about tomorrow, for you do not even know what will happen today?
Exactly.
And I think like so many people push things in the future, say, I'll do this later on when I get this in my life, or I'll set this up when I feel like I'm in a more stable position to follow suit. And even on a spiritual sense, it's like, you know, maybe I want to live my life in college right now, or maybe I want to do my thing, you know, outside of college. I'm just fresh out graduating. I'll push that spiritual stuff later on down the life. But Jesus says, like, man, you aren't promised tomorrow. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. So how arrogant and prideful is for you to say such a thing like that? And I've been prone to fall in positions where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this later on, man. God, I got you, bro. I'll do it. And it's like that procrastination. But then I come up time and realize, like, hey, this ain't guaranteed tomorrow. Who am I to say that I'll do this and put things aside the next day when I don't know what to happen? Which is why it connects back to my original point, man. The best time to start was yesterday, man. I think me starting, you know, this relationship with God yesterday, you know, has really transformed me through the power of the Holy Spirit, man, because it allowed me to see, hey, this is like where you're broken, and this is where I can come and repair you. But imagine me going another 10 years living as that broken person daily, man, and how many effects that would have on people around me. But by me starting yesterday, right, and that's just a metaphorical phrase, I can see how God has moved me. And now that preparation of me developing this character every single day sets me up for people that I'll encounter in the future.
Yeah, that's so real. And I think like when you think about what Jesus said, it also ties into what James said when he was like, your life is nothing but a momentary vapor, bro. Like literally, it's just like, dog, you literally don't know if you're guaranteed tomorrow. So say if I was like in that person's position, like, yo, I'm gonna start living for God, maybe when I'm out of college, what I'm saying? And then you mess around and die tomorrow and you meet your creator, bro. And then you like, what you gonna tell him? Hey, I was gonna live for you, about 4 years.
24 hours.
It's like, come on, bro. Like, it's not rational. So it's just like, why not now? What harm does it do you to start now? And like you said, fail ahead, bro. That's legit, bro.
Hitting up on James' point of how life's like a vapor, to me, all these days are going by so fast. You know what I'm saying? It's like the next day. So in some aspect, we're always in yesterday because our days are going so fast. You know what I'm saying? And so the best time to ever start is yesterday, but the second best time to ever start is right now.
Yeah.
With almost everything. If I had 4 years experience on so many things that I started this year, it came a game changer. Again, 4 years of making songs or even writing down the words to them, man, you're 4 years better at the end. And so again, 4 years of being up in the Bible, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
Man. That's a game changer.
Yeah, bro. That's good.
I think as far as, that point right there, like I found so many areas in my life where, things that I'm trying to grow in now. If I would have started maybe just a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, where I would be today and the things that I want to grow in, I just kind of thinking like, dang, what if? Well, why does there have to be a what if for us? I feel like if we can start right now, then we don't have to say what if in the future. So the best time to start is yesterday. And I want to really harp on like, that the same we were talking about earlier with James and what Jesus said, man, like thinking about tomorrow before we even get through today. There's a guy I was talking to at a Bible study, man. And this man graduated college. He was fresh out and he was, living a dream. Like he was, going every single day, had a nice paying job. He was straight. And, he was just kind of like easy into that, the spiritual walk, whatever, but he was just doing his own thing. And then one day he's driving and he's going across this intersection. Boom, he gets hit, bro. T-bone, he's paralyzed from the chest down, bro, from the rest of his life, bro. And this is a young guy who's 24 years old, bro, who's pushing everything out in the future because he feels like he has his time. But little do we know that our life can be changed in an instant. So that's why I really want to harp on like, man, we got to start today because tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what could happen, who could happen tomorrow, what things that we could lose that could really change the trajectory of our lives.
Bro, that's tough, bro. That's wild. And something that I heard from a friend of mine is like, you don't rise to the occasion, you revert back to your habits. And it's the same thing, bro, because if like, so say you're taking a test, bro, you're not gonna automatically know the information while you're in there taking a test. You revert back to the habits. Okay, was I studying? Was I taking my time, maybe study with others, who can help me? But it's because it's like, you gotta look back at the habits, those building blocks that got you to that point. And how do you build habits? You start from day one. You have to continue to build. It's like steps. If I want to get up here, I gotta keep going, bro.
Yo, neck crank.
I thought that was that loud, bro.
But like, bro, you gotta start somewhere. Like, okay, I can't rise to the occasion the day of and expect to be ready and expect to perform the way I want to perform without building those habits in the future. I mean, in the past, you know what I'm saying?
Because now I'm thinking in the sense of, you play sports, right? You play basketball, man. Imagine if you were to hop on the court with no type of practice time, man. Everybody want to be LeBron James. Everybody want to be these high top tier athletes, but nobody wants to put the work in, man. LeBron got to where he is today. Yeah, some by being, naturally talented, naturally gifted. But on the flip side, he was also putting the work in every single day. He was putting work in when people weren't watching. And that has elevated him to where he is today. So I feel like, man, if we put the work in behind the scenes, man, the dividends that it'll pay out for us in the long run will have a huge return rather than trying to get a return from something that we don't even put time into. And we wonder why we're not getting any type of return at all.
Bro, that's so real because I think a lot of people only want to prepare when somebody else is watching them. We always talk about integrity, right?
Yeah.
Who are you, when nobody is around you, you know what I'm saying? So when you actually like taking this time to prepare in the dark, by yourself,
Like
then
that,
bro,
man.
that's where it's going to show, when the time is, when the time is there, you know what I'm saying?
I was processing this because I think this is from Eric Thomas that it was like, if you're not gonna start for you, start for those around you. You know what I'm saying? Because him playing basketball has affected those around him. Me seeing his work ethic has affected me. You know what I'm saying? So if he didn't start playing basketball until his senior year of high school, he probably wouldn't be in the spot that he's at now. I probably wouldn't be like, oh, see his ethic of work. In the same way, if someone's not up in there on the Bible, keeps saying, I'm gonna put you down, man, you crafting your character is gonna help those who see you on everyday basis. The dude who didn't start doing songs, man, someone else seeing him doing songs could inspire them to start something else. Something that I'm huge on is on what we do can also inspire someone else. You know what I'm saying? I got texts like this pod has helped a couple people start their own things, and not podcasts, but their own things, because they saw us go at something and try something. You know what I'm saying? And so if someone's not gonna start for them, start for those around you. Start for those who care about you and that you care for.
Yeah, that's huge. And I think also with that too is like, I hate just like that what if after the fact, you know what I'm saying? Why we gotta be like, dang, well, what if, you know, say an example for the song guy, right? Dang, what if this guy made the same song as me with the same type of lyrics? What if he had #1 on the charts? What if, you know what I'm saying? Instead of saying what if, say why not? Like, why not start today, bro? Why not start today, dog? Stop saying stop getting to the end and saying what if, instead of start at the beginning and be like, why not? Why shouldn't I start today? Why shouldn't I start metaphorically yesterday, you know?
Yeah. The graveyard is the richest place on earth.
I heard that.
So many dreams go underneath 6 feet deep. And people wonder why, man. Like, what if I would have started this business? Or what if I would have let my life like this? Where would I have ended up? But like to your point, man, why not start today? Like, I think a lot of people the thing that holds them back is what you said earlier, man. Like, people are afraid to fail, man.
Yeah.
But you don't get anywhere in life without failing first. You don't get any, like, what we learned today, man, failure is actually what measures growth. You don't know what areas that you need to grow in until you fail. So the people that have started, man, businesses, I think about Jeff Bezos or people who started all the stuff that they did in the garage, man.
Yeah.
They aren't gonna be where they are today if they haven't failed a couple of times, because failure helps them realize this is what we should do next time to help us have a better chance at being successful. But if we're always constantly, avoiding that failure, man, we'll never have a chance of being truly successful, man, because we're always looking at this facade. Like, oh, I can do this, I'll be fine, I'll be content with this. But man, there's so much more beyond just failure itself, man. If you fail, there are a lot of lessons that come from that, man. An L is not an L, it's just a lesson learned for today, bro.
Literally.
I was thinking fail forward. And so if you fail, then you fail, then you fail, then you fail, you're still 6 steps ahead of him. So bro who didn't ever start, he's right here and you failing forward. Although it's failures, you're still 4, 5, 6 steps ahead. You know what I'm saying? And something that I want to ask y'all is, up in the past, what has had y'all kind of push stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm gonna do it a couple months, I'm gonna do it a couple years. Like what has helped? What has had you think that?
Well, before I hit on that, I think to like the previous point, like 2 things, like you miss 0% of the shots that you don't take, you know what I'm saying? Number 1. And then also, I think when we talk about failure, I think we've all been in a space, especially, with coming to Christ, we've been in a testimony where we were in a place of failure when we had to look to God to come and save us, you know what I'm saying? And I can think for me, personally, is when I was in an unequally yoked relationship and that failed, but God was there to pick me up, you know what I'm saying? And to show me, okay, this is what real love looks like. And this is what comes from me, you know what I'm saying? And I think something in the past, like you said, that I think I pushed away, I think I've also pushed away, really with school, just be like, dang, bro, I may not want to do that assignment today, dog. I got it's due at 11:59 tomorrow. I'm probably just gonna do it at 11 o'clock or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's bro. So I think that's a habit I'm really just trying to break, especially in college, because I don't want that to be a detriment, not only to myself, but to others around me when I get, maybe in the future, wherever God has for me, when I'm like, okay, well, you need to be able to do this. It has this deadline. I don't want to be like, dang, I'm doing it at the last minute. So now I'm putting myself in a position to where I'm trying to rise to the occasion instead of fall back on those habits of those building blocks when I was preparing.
Whew, boy. And the first thing I want to say before I hit your point is that, man, Thomas Jefferson, the inventor of the light bulb, man, This man failed 10,000 plus times before he found the right solution to create the light bulb. But what he told people back in the day was like, oh, dude, why would you keep going after you failed 10,000 times? He's like, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. I think a lot of us have to be in a position like that. It's like, man, I hadn't actually failed, man. I just found out what didn't work, and I can try again and try again. I think the reason why I fell into positions where I pushed things in the forward is because, one, I felt like I was, afraid of what people would think. And then I think that fear of rejection and fear of just approval in general will kind of make me just stay in that comfortable place where I never wanted to step outside of, that comfort zone. And so I feel like for me, getting past that hurdle and that obstacle has really allowed me to see some beautiful things that God has shown me in life. But I think it's getting over that, that fear and that acceptance of others and what people think and how they might view a decision that I could make. I think another decision that's really held me back is also just, being like uncertain. Like, so many of us want to be successful, man, but we want that thing kind of guaranteed, man. And something that the Bible has taught me, man, is that, man, to have faith, man, we don't have to have certainty of the outcome, man. We just have to have certainty of the outcome of whose hands that we're in. So for me, I'm like, shoot, man, I'm gonna start now because of what God can do with this, man. Peter, dude, step out on the boat, man. He wasn't sure, but he was just trying to have enough faith to see if he could actually, follow Jesus. And next thing you know, dude was walking on the water, man. So we got to have that faith, man. We're stepping out of the boat, man. We don't care about what other people think. We don't care about what the doubt that's in our mind tries to say about us, man. We're stepping out because we're stepping out on faith because we don't care about other people's opinions, but we care about the one who's calling for us to step into purpose, step into the areas that we can be successful.
Bro, that's so real because, like, you think about, like, that identity. We always talk about, like, stop wondering about what other people are saying about you, but wonder about what the Creator says about you. You know what I'm saying? I think, just like you talk about, what holds you back is like, dang, okay, like, how do these people view me in this type of light? Well, it's like, bro, that doesn't matter, what they say about me. It matters what God says about me at the end of the day. So I think it's like also an identity issue to where we're like, dang, like, I got to push this away because maybe I don't want to see people. So I don't want to step on people's toes, or I don't want people to be irritated with me, So I think it's also just an identity issue. But what, like you said, but once you know whose you are, bro, it's a game changer, bro.
Also, before they cook us up in the comments, it's Thomas Edison, right?
Oh, bro.
No, because Thomas Jefferson the president. No, Thomas Jefferson's the president. So I had to say, bro, whatever. They want to cook them. Before they cook them, it's made. Oh,
that was gonna be a clip, bro.
No, you can't put down serious with that. No, you can't, bro. You're like, tell them a couple seconds. That was seconds later. They can you in the comments. I'm not saying George Washington.
That nigga blew on the show, bro.
I wait the whole time.
Hey, he talking about damn cookie in the comments.
Before they cook us, bro.
Dang, bro.
He a dog, man. I'm not trying to save you, dog.
Shoot, I know it's Thomas something, bro.
Tom Brady. Hitting off that point, and I had the opportunity to share with someone this morning, but like, bro, God, like I say, our value comes from God, what He says about us, because He's our Creator. It's not about pay attention to the creation, what that they're all saying, but bro, God loves us so much, and I had the opportunity to share something, to share this with someone, and I'm just amazed because this past week it's helped me so much. Just again with what people say, my thoughts go down this way. It's like, bro, like God loves us. The thing you said, like a mom is like the only person that like can even get close to that. God's even 10 times past that. It's like even in our failures, even in our mistakes, like God still shows us love. But as you said a couple of episodes back, He won't come in unless we allow him in. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to say, like, that's been on my mind, man. It's been helping me this entire week. So I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to say to you, because you said this last episode, man, but it's along the lines of how stewardship, right? Just having stewardship in general. And I think stewardship is a key to preparation for the future. Right. And so, you mentioned, man, what Jesus said, man, those who are faithful with a few will be entrusted, to be faithful with many.
Yeah.
And so we had these devotionals that talks about, man, like, the stuff that we're doing now is going to pay dividends for us in the future, man, especially for that family we were talking about leading one day, man. But it starts with what are we stewarding now, man? If I can't take care of the little things that God has given me now, how can I take care of things that He wants to give me in the future, man? It starts with stewardship now and having that discipline to say, you know what, I'm going to start, being a discipline in these areas, man, because I want to be more disciplined in the future when I have more responsibility. Right. But an undisciplined person now will be an undisciplined person in the future, man. What do you think about it now? you're prepping for something in your life right now, whether it's something that's good or something that's bad. You're prepping for something, man. So you're prepping for something that's undisciplined. Guess what? You're gonna be undisciplined in the future as well.
Yeah, bro. And I always like talk about the stewardship. I always think about like, okay, maybe an apartment or a car, right? When somebody's like, well, you know, man, I want this. I want a house. I want to own a house now. But it's like, how are you treating the apartment that you have now? Is that have good upkeep? Is it clean? You know what I'm saying? Are the bills paid? You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with a car. Is the car clean? Is it running properly? How does it sound when you're driving it? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, dog,
The engine light on.
It's just like a carriage, bro.
So it's like, dog, you might have that busted Toyota Camry right now, bro. But if you're keeping that junk in tip-top shape, you can be trusted with a car that might be more expensive because you're like, hey, like, okay, I know how to handle this when I had it, so I know how to handle this with this even more of a higher magnitude. You know what I'm saying?
It's it's people who fail to plan to fail, right? And so I'm thinking about that all the time, bro. Even me, I'm trying to get a family eventually or get married. It's like, okay, since I have this thought up in mind and I'm here now, how am I gonna handle this? How am I gonna get there? You know what I'm saying? I think so many people don't ever think about how they're gonna get to the places that they're trying to get to. So how are you treating girls now if you're trying to get married in the future? How are you keeping the apartment now if you're trying to again get a house? How are you doing up in your bachelor's if you're trying to get a master's or PhD? It's all these things. Again, it's like if we don't plan, then we're planning to fail. And it's like, I think again, all these different things where it's like, what path am I going to take to get there? Because if I don't have a path to get there, I probably won't ever get there. And it's that stewardship. Y'all just hit on so many good. It's that stewardship. It's those who are trusted with small, they can be trusted with a lot more.
Bro, I love what you said, bro, with that path, bro. And just like we alluded to earlier, you got the path of what if, and you got the path of why not, bro. And those can lead to two totally different outcomes depending on which one you take. So I'm trying to be a person where I'm taking the why not path. Well, I'm gonna start here, not only just starting, you know, trying to do the bare minimum, but starting being intentional with it. You know what I'm saying? Or with my preparation, like, hey, okay, if this is what I'm doing, I'm gonna do that till the fullest. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep doing it every single day. Build that consistency and build those habits, man.
You know, I think of the verse in Zechariah 4:10, do not despise the small beginnings, man. We have been giving an opportunity where, hey, man, the beginning is small, man. But what God could do with this by being a faithful steward, by taking that, why not start a podcast right now? Let's see what God can do with it. Or why not start, you know, writing songs or whatever that thing that you're starting with today, man. Do not despise the small beginnings, man. Be a good, faithful steward of what you have now, because there's no telling what God can grow in your life. Yeah. We've seen God do some tremendous things, what he's given us already, man. It's just such a blessing to hear that verse and be reminded when we are discouraged of like, oh, maybe things aren't the way that we want it to be right now. But it's a small beginning where we can look back and say, man, remember we started right here, man. We was doing all these things, man. And now look at us, bro. The same exact way, man. If you want a family or a marriage, do not despise where you are now, man. You got a family right now that you live in, right? You know, steward that well, man, and maybe God will be able to give you something that's better in the future. Do not despise the small beginnings.
Literally, bro, that's so good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But no, but like looking back, you don't want to be man, what if we started this podcast, bro? Like that what if is just such a bad place to be, because now you're like, okay, what if we start this podcast? And not even to compare, you see this person with a podcast who started at that time using that why not mentality, and now God done increased them so much. And you're like, dang, bro, that could have been us, bro. That could have been us. But you procrastinated and pushing things to the side and failing to prepare is very detrimental, not only to you, but to others around you, you know?
Something that you taught me, man, and you said, like, live life like with no regrets, man. It's something that you talked about with multiple people, and I feel like, man, if there's a life for me right now where, you know, I can fail a bunch of times, man. Like, at least I know what not to do. At least I know how to move in the why not direction in the future. Like, I can find out and identify a bunch of ways that don't work. But now, you know, I don't have a regret, man, to say that, oh, I wonder what would happen if I would have done that opportunity. I wonder what would happen if I didn't try and attempt at least, you know, whatever. But now I think for us, like the goal in mind, the aim for us should be to man, let's go live a life full with no regrets, man. Let's go fail, bro. Let's go fail over and over again so we can see, hey, man, what actually works. Because I think failure is what pushes you to the next level, man. Ultimately, at the end of the day, man, wherever you want to be, you're going to have to fail. Like, that's just the harsh reality that it is, man. But sometimes failure is comforting, man. So, okay, well, shoot, I failed today, but I guarantee you, I ain't gonna fail again, right? You failed a test sometime one day before, right? It's like, maybe you got a 50%. I guarantee you that next test, you was not about to get a 50%, bro. You was not about to get a 50%. So I think if you can fail forward and continue to grow and live a life full of no regrets, life can be so much more meaningful and fulfilling.
And you just hit a big point. I've been here, as I told you, I've been here for a month straight, but what's gonna matter when I'm 85 and dying on my deathbed? What am I gonna wish? Man, I wish I did this. Man, I wish I did that. Somehow thinking of, man, when I'm dying, I'm gonna say, I wish I saw the Grand Canyon. And so that's why in a couple months, I'm going there. Cause I wanna see what God did and how this thing looked. I've never seen it in person. And it's like, man, all these things I'm thinking about as I'm coming out of college or as I'm inside college, like when I'm 85 or 90 or something and on my deathbed, what am I gonna wish I did? And those things I'm doing right now. I'm doing the pod. I'm seeing these things. I'm experiencing different things. And so, some of them you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail forward. Sometimes you don't get the job. Sometimes the girl doesn't say yes. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things happen. But it's that thought of, bro, why not now? Why not try? I'd rather try and fail than be like, what would have happened if I tried to get the job, if I applied, if I tried to get that girl, if I tried to do this and that? Bro, why not now, bro? Oh my goodness.
That's so real. And I think like we always talk about is like, it's a verse in the Bible where it says, make the most of every opportunity. We got to look at everything is an opportunity either to have success or either to fail, but understanding like the failure is where you see the growth, bro. Because when I'm like, all right, cool, like I'm going to go into this like just headstrong, I'm going to be intentional. If I fail, then I fail, you know what I'm saying? But at least I know that I put my best foot forward, you know what I'm saying? And so as we talk about building those habits for the future, I'm going to continue to make the most of every single opportunity because you don't know which opportunity could be a W in the future.
Yeah.
I think in some ways, you know, avoiding failure can be selfish because to your point earlier, you talked about inspiration. And I think all of us have learned from other people's failures at some point in our lives. And so if you're trying to avoid failure, man, think about that person that's in the future that's actually counting on you to fail so that they can learn from the situation that's present in their life. We think about failure, man. It's like, man, don't avoid the failure, man, because not only will it help you, but it's going to help 10 people. For every one person that fails, 10 people can learn from that failure. So if you start now and fail now, man, a lot of other 10, 12, 20 people can learn in the future, man.
Domino effect.
Domino effect, man. Each one teach one, for real. Each one teach one, for real. Domino effect.
Shoot, that's real, bro.
And solid episode.
100%. 100%.
Prep for the future.
No, facts.
We out here. Deuces.